AOC's talking about the Electoral College, and you can tell that she lacks all critical thinking skills based on her opinion. The Electoral College was created at a time when non-whites didn't vote. So the idea that it was created to specifically suppress the vote of non-whites, well, is totally absurd. It makes no sense. Because the people who created the Electoral College never believed that non-whites would vote. The Electoral College was created simply to protect smaller communities from being bullied by larger communities on the national stage. But I don't really want to go over that so much. There's other people talking about why it's important. I'd rather talk about why AOC's an idiot. Actually, really, I'd rather talk about the fact that it shows that she's the hater and not other people. It shows that she hates anyone who isn't an urban socialite, and she hates anyone whose vote hasn't been purchased by the Democrats. Really, that's what it's about, is creating a new modern plantation where non-whites who are immigrants, who don't necessarily speak fluent English, and certainly don't have an education in American civics, are convinced to move into large cities where Democrats throw them a few pennies in welfare in exchange for their votes. Really, that's all it boils down to, and that's what AOC wants to do, is buy votes from people who don't understand American civics as well as they could. For whatever reason, I'm not blaming those people. I'm just saying that she's targeting people who don't understand civics with an emotional argument that isn't based in fact. If the Electoral College does go away, which is a really, really slim chance considering that it would require a ratification to the Constitution, and we're more likely to see an entire constitutional convention and a whole adjustment from that perspective than just one or two issues like the Electoral College. But that's a topic for another day, maybe. But let's just pretend that the Electoral College did go away. What would happen? The immediate balkanization of the United States. And it would be a few big cities versus the rest of the people who live in the outlying counties. And I gotta tell you, I know black people in the country, I know Mexicans and Latinos and Hispanics in the country. You know, these people tend to prefer country life in a certain way. A lot of my Mexican friends, they wear cowboy hats and cowboy boots. They like riding horses, and they raise animals out on big pieces of property in the outskirts of town. I get, you know, there's definitely a large, diverse demographic in urban areas, but that's because they're so populous. It doesn't really speak to whether or not these people hate inner city colored people or whether they're urbanites. And really, again, that's what it is. AOC hates anyone who isn't an urban socialite, right? If you're a rural dweller, she doesn't care about you. Doesn't matter what color your skin is or what country you came for, she doesn't want your vote to count because you live out in the middle of some desolate highway somewhere and apparently you're nothing, and therefore your vote should be nothing. So, to all my friends with brown skin down in Texas raising cattle and making hay, man, keep that in mind when you go to cast your vote next year. To all my friends out in Montana somewhere, you know, that whatever, just keep it in mind. It's urban versus rural. Her argument is urban versus rural, and there's a lot more rural here in this country, and there are people there It's not fucking empty space. There are people there leading lives. They're trying to lead lives that are closer to a sustainable lifestyle than all these fucking urban socialites that need to get their food carted in from the country, that need to get all of everything they need to fucking live has to come shipped to them from overseas or is imported from the country somewhere. And yet they're going to turn around and attack the people in the country as racist. Fuck you.